there's a decision point tonight in a cabinet meeting whether to extend or not to extend. Obviously, the position of OCTA 3 weeks ago, the position it has continues to have today is we should have at least a 2-week period of ECQ where we have strict mobility restrictions. But given where we are now, and this is where I think the presentation of both Professor David and the hospital model that has been largely accurate, that was developed by Father Nick and Mike T, coming to fore, no? And that is that we need to have, we're recommending that the ECQ be extended. If it can be extended, we're suggesting 2 weeks, no? Why? Because it's not clear at all. I think it's crystal, no, to everyone that based on the data, neither the R is going down significantly, okay, and neither is hospital utilization also going down significantly. So the argument is, given where we are, we need an extension of the ECQ, and we're suggesting maybe a consideration of this for at least 2 weeks, no? But then again, we leave that to government, and government will decide whether they can balance this recommendation with the economic realities on the ground. If the R does not drop dramatically in the next 7 days, the national government has to be prepared to consider additional 3rd week of ECQ. So after the additional week, let's assess, okay? And the last this week of ECQ is not without significant changes. The R has dropped, but it has not dropped to a level where transmissions will be affected significantly. Okay, so the R is still up. While it has dropped slightly, it's still up. It's still above 1, and the virus is still spreading. The complicating factor now in the NCR bubble is that our hospitals, as we predicted 3 weeks ago, are already filled up. You know, and I don't think the fill-up rate will go down this week or next week. And this is what our fellows are trying to say. Our hospitals will be filled for the next 2 or 3 weeks. What do we do about it? And what our suggestion is we extend the ECQ and find ways, no, to augment capacity here, whether it's in actual beds, ventilators, okay, and equipment, to the most important element of our hospital system, which is nurses and doctors. Okay, we urge the national government to establish an exit strategy from the ECQ that will sustain the anticipated drop in R. We recommend that the GCQ be followed by the ECQ be followed by an MECQ before we go to the more liberal GCQ. So a step-down approach so that we can sustain the gains that we have achieved, and of course the sacrifices, no, we have achieved over the last 2 weeks. We urge the national government to consider transporting nurses and other healthcare workers from low-risk regions in the country to assist the NCR, okay, which is struggling, no, because of the ongoing surge. And we continue also the urgent call of our healthcare workers that whatever amelioration that is promised to them be given to them and released to them as soon as possible. We also echo the position of our nurses and doctors that they need billeting, no? They need places to stay nearby the hospitals so that it will be easy for them to go to work, okay, and to support efforts to treat our patients in the hospitals which they are working in, which are all already filled up. So government has to find a way, together with the private sector, to find a way to get billeting or places to stay for our doctors and nurses. Okay, so we echo all of those positions, including, of course, the need for our nurses, no, to be paid, no, whatever amelioration is still supposed to be given to them. The surge should not stop our government from providing all of these necessary payments to our doctors and nurses, and of course to provide support for the doctors and nurses that they will be borrowing from the adjacent regions, no, where there is no surge. Okay. We urge the national government we also urge the national government and our LGUs to accelerate their efforts to build isolation and quarantine facilities to alleviate the pressure on our hospitals. We believe, together with the DOH, no, that mild and recovering COVID patients, the majority of whom comprise the surge in cases we have today, can be attended in these facilities. No? So the more quarantine facilities we build during this next week or two, or identify places, no, where we can convert into quarantine facilities, that can be schools, that can be other facilities in the healthcare system, then we should do so, no, to relieve the pressure on our hospitals. The position is very clear. We are together with the DOH, where we support the position of the DOH for an extension of the MECQ. In fact, we believe, given where we are now, we might need more. Okay, but after a week of extension, let's assess. And it is our belief that we'll need more time to get through this surge, unlike the last surge that we went through last year. We will need more time with more restrictive mobility restrictions, no, for some time more. And that premature opening, okay, to GCQ might make us lose the gains, no, that we have achieved so far, and maybe even complicate the situation. We'd like to add one more recommendation, and that is that we agree with the Department of Health that we should continue to accelerate vaccination, especially of our healthcare workers. Let's continue the vaccination effort, and let's accelerate it even more during this time of ECQ. Thank you.